What's good, y'all? It's Berk, aka Just Burn 420 on MTGO. Yesterday I top 8'd the Modern Challenge, so we're back with my Slivers list and some more gameplay. But first, the one change from last week was I took out a Grafdigger's Cage from the sideboard and replaced it with a Damping Matrix. Shout out to Blacktail for the idea. Damping Matrix is probably the best thing we have available to shut down Heliod. And it shuts down both the infinite life combo as well as just the annoyance of having Walking Ballista kill all our slivers. Alright, round one, game one was blue-white control. Let's jump right into that. So I see that. Assume they're on blue-white control, and that makes me happy because, you know, we got a vial. Okay, so I went with the Gale Rider Sliver there over the Predatory because I really expected them to have a counter or something. You know, just the way they had those two untapped lands ready. Like, okay, they're gonna do something. You know, and if it was a bluff, it was a good one. But yeah, that's what that was for. But I guess I guess it was the opt and the remove. So yeah, that. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I went with the Get Rider first anyway. But yeah, don't always lead with the Lord if there's no immediate benefit and there's a chance that it'll just die. One of the common mistakes. I'd assume. Not like I've really gotten to watch too many other people play this deck. But if you do play my list, you know, one, it's not a meme deck, and two, don't always lead with your lords. Sometimes lead with your lords. Depends on your hand and the board and whatnot. Let's see. Game two. Yeah, so as you see, I'm starting with the Mariner over the Predatory and Cloud Shredder. You know, partly because, you know, Mariner is great early on, and it's a 2/2 body that can always swing for 3 the next turn. But also partly because, you know, let's eat up their removal. Like, if they're gonna start removing some stuff, let's eat up their removal, and then we can fly over them with a bunch of pumped up hasting flyers. I don't know. At least that was what was going on in my head. Alright, so that time it was because, alright, we need to kill the fairy, so let's bring out the Cloud Shredder. So at this point, it's like, alright, they might have a board wipe, but we can take them down to 3 before then. So I'm thinking, you know, let's go for it. You know, it's either that or hold back and chip at them while they do nothing. Because you know, like, yeah, on the one hand, you don't want to overextend. You know, the classic aggro versus control matchup. You want to trickle the creatures out so they can't just waste all their waste their board wipes. Sorry, so you make them waste their board wipes, and you don't waste all your creatures when they do board wipe. But with slivers, you kind of want to flood the board by design, you know, and it's kind of counterintuitive to trickle them out, and it's hard to strike a balance sometimes, which is why the blue-white control matchup gets tricky, or, you know, any control matchup with board wipes gets tricky. Thankfully, we do have frenetic, and that makes things easier. But yeah, it's always tough to gauge when to flood the board and when to just chill. But I took a calculated risk. I was like, they're all probably gonna die next turn, but, you know, I got haste. Let's take it down to 3, and then if we get the right top decks, we can easily chip away those 3. Or so I thought in my head, you know, assuming they didn't have a handful of counter magic and other answers, which they apparently did. And back when IRL Magic was a thing, I know a couple of people have commented that sometimes I tend to play matches longer than I should, as in I won't concede right away, even when the chances are like really, really bad. But it's just forced to happen because there's always that 1 out of 1,000 chance that, you know, something happens. And occasionally that something does happen, and it doesn't happen often, but it's happened enough where like I'll still play until I'm sure, absolutely sure I have no more outs. But in my head, it's like, okay, we could get like a Dragscape, and then we could bring back some other shit, or you know, there's always ways. There's always ways. Well, not always, but like, I haven't conceded yet, or I mean, not here because it's 22-3, but like, I do feel like I held on a little too long this game, but it's just there's always a way, you know. There's always a like. Even if the I cast a Dragscape, but they have a handful of counters, right? A Dragscape gets countered, but then you have enough lands, then you just dredge it back, or whatever it's called. You unearth the back. Wait, is that what that ability's called? No, that's just a card. Whatever, you return it to you Dragscape it back, and then you Dragscape a Cloud Shredder. It doesn't even have to be a Cloud Shredder, because they already have haste. It could be the Gale Rider. Or you know, just I mean, 3 life is worth hanging on for, but the control deck controlled pretty well this game. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. Oh, I said oops. I think I misclicked something at one point, but in the end, I don't think it really mattered. Alright, so game 3. Oh look, another Vial. Vial Unsettled Frenetic. I think I was pretty happy seeing this hand against control. Alright, so oh, and Cavern. And Cavern too. So I could rush these out. Well, I need another land for the Frenetic. I don't remember if I got it or not. Oh, and if they have untapped lands, and you have a Vial with at least 1 counter on it, and ideally at least 1 card in hand, feel free to just randomly tap it on their end stuff, even if you have nothing to put out, because it's a 0-cost bluff that, you know, at worst, they'll just look at you funny. But there's always that chance that they might think, oh shit, something's gonna happen, you know, is it like an unsettled, or I guess at 1, it could be something else. But like, you know, they might need to do something in response. Who knows what they have? I know the chances are so low, but I mean, again, if it's 0 cost, just bluff. And get them in the habit of you doing it randomly, so that when you actually do have some fancy trick to put out, they might be a little caught off guard there. Alright, so that was the game. I'm sorry I didn't really pay attention to what was going on. I'm horrible at commentating. I'm more of a color commentator. I know I'm not really a play-by-play, because that requires too much focus. I'm the color commentator with no play-by-play person, so that's your job as a viewer. You gotta. I guess you could pause if this shit goes too fast. I'm not sure if it is going too fast, but all right. So Arbiter. I mean, we run no fetch lands, so that basically means their those quarters turn into strip mines, and their paths turn into fatal pushes, basically. Which is, you know, pretty good. Yeah, Skyclave is gonna be a staple in Modern for a long time. So, at this point, it looks really bad. Yeah, this is the round I lost, so don't expect it to get any better. But let's watch the massacre. I mean, okay, so my strat here was, what the hell was my strat here? Alright, so I got a chump block and then hope for a miracle. So what would a miracle be? 1, 2. Yeah, I think I needed a land, and then frenetic sliver. But oh, they have a flyer though, so that's, yeah. Anyway, that's game. I had no chance. There's nothing to glean from that. Oh, right. I'm supposed to hit play, not yes. On the play. No harmonic in hand, but you know, I don't want to take too many mulligans for no reason. That could hurt more than it helps sometimes. And yeah. Although maybe I should have considered the end result. But no, 4 lands is a lot, but if at least one of them is either a Mutavault or Horizon land like that, I'll usually consider it barely keepable. And I mean, I guess part of it is coming from a burn background where I'm really averse to mulligans, but I don't like giving up my card advantage. You know, 3 lands, and then I can cycle 1 or cantrip 1, and then yeah, I didn't expect to top deck more land. But I mean, I know it's a possibility. I realize it's a possibility, but then you play your outs, and my outs were drawing non-lands. It didn't happen. That's just how the game works. It is what it is. It's all good. But yeah, at this point, I think I was hoping for a harmonic top deck. But yeah, that should be game. Oh well. Now it should be game. Right? Wait, why didn't I concede yet? Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, I was typing out good games, that's why. Alright, so that was round 2. Let's go to round 3 against Mono Green Tron. So at this point, I need to win out the top 8. They mold a 5. Typical Tron. Yikes. Yeah, that's never a pretty sight. Tron land, map, Tron land. Frenetic Sliver though is great to protect against any board wipes that they may have. Like that. So flicker, and we win. So then they shoot this, flicker, and we win. You know, we play to our outs, and sometimes our outs are coin flips. And then from there, let's see. They have anything to turn after that? What they have? Ulamog, more coin flips. Yes, we win again. And alright, can't win them all. That's all good. But that's still lethal. Alright, so game 2 against Mono Green Tron. Spatial contortion. So yeah, again, sometimes it's better to lead with the 2/2 body that isn't the most valuable right away. Just in case you're expecting something like spatial contortion. That and if you lead with the 2/2 and follow with the leeching sliver, you'll do more damage than the other way around. I guess you go leeching sliver and then leeching sliver, but yeah, the 2/2 is bait, and which we could bring back. Like Dregscape is especially great to go first as bait because if they kill it, that's fine. You can just bring it back. All right, that was game 2. All right, so round 4, game 1. Round 4 was against Niv to Light, which seems like a really fun deck to play. I've never actually shuffled it up, but doesn't it seem like a fun deck to play? What was the delay there? Alright, so seems like a decent hand. Couple lands. Slivers on the curve. So I see the Misty Rainforest and the other the Triumph with the blue. I figured they got counters, but hey, we got caverns. So they remand anyway. I'm assuming just to cycle the card. Like okay, they see double caverns. This thing ain't countering shit. Let's just cycle the card. I mean, makes sense. Fair enough. But I love cavern. Why is it taking so long on their end steps for this one? I'm a little confused. Shouldn't be going at the same speed? Anyway. Alright, so they exile the haster before attacks, fair enough. So note that I went with the 2 1-drops instead of either of the 2 drops. You know, I figure one, and this will be bait for their removal, so that they don't get the sinew. And you know, if they get the cloud shard, I got another one if I really want the haste. Plus, I got 2 other flyers. But like, you know, that and you know, you could always save the lore as a finisher, if that makes sense. But yeah, I try to play it safe. You know, at this point it's clear they're packing removal, and you don't always have to rush the lords out. It's okay to like build up a following. Wait till you get friend. Look, so let's flip some coins here. No. Yes. Is always fun. Yes. And yes. Not bad. Not bad. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. So they basically cast Bring the Light to kill a 1-drop. We didn't even need the lords. Alright, so the trick to winning is to win your coin flips. Fair enough. Game 2. Why is it taking so long? yeah, I cast Striking Sliver. Wait, it's not just me, right? Moto's slowing down? Right, so I think this is another situation where I want to drop the 1-drops. And then... No, wait. That's not what I did. That's not what I did. Why oh, no, that's right. I thought about the 1-drops. And then I was like, well, I have another land. And then next turn, I'll have 3 mana. So I can go leeching and then a 1-drop. That's right. Because curving out takes precedence a lot of the time. Because, you know, just basics of Magic. That's right. That's why I went 2-drop. That's a lot of lands to not do anything. So yeah, I got a little lucky here. Now, I'll wait until after attacking to cast a Frenetic, because I figure if I cast it and they have removal that they want to use on one of those, they might use the removal before the Frenetic comes and they get like half value on all the removal. But if they don't know I have the Frenetic, then I can at least sneak the attack in. And then after that, you know, sometimes they'll take the damage and then I'll cast a Frenetic and then they'll have to remove it in response. You know, after taking some extra damage that they could have prevented if they knew the Frenetic was coming. If that makes sense. Alright. Cryptic Command, thankfully, that can't get recurred forever anymore. That was so annoying. I mean, we still got around that with either Mutavault or Aether Vial combined with Cloud Shredder, but it was very annoying. So, Bring the Light, Scape Shift. Now, here's the thing. They messed up. Because I have 2 Unsettled Mariners out. And I don't think they realize what Unsettled Mariner does at this point. Or they just forgot about it. So this is what happens when you try to scape shift someone with 2 Unsettled Mariners out. Like... They had 3 mana flowing, but they're... 3 mana is not gonna do much. So they fiddled around for a little bit and then they conceded. Alright, so that was round 4. Round 5. Blue-white control again. Quick mulligan. I love it when I have caverns and they have islands. It makes me happy. And then when you have caverns, they're more likely to you know, keep their lands untapped. You know, they're more likely to tap out because they're like, whatever, they got a cavern anyway. And then you can stick the vial out. Nah, but I mean, once you get the cavern, it's usually enough. Then you just gotta worry about removal. So yeah, pop the land first, and then see if you get a little more fuel to add, just in case. Like if they have 1 piece of removal, right? It's nice having extra threats. Now, even if they remove the Cloud Shredder, they got the Sinew and Legion that'll kill them. Wait, did they concede here? Oh yeah, they conceded. Sorry. Game 2. Escape first out to, in theory, eat the counter, because I saw 2 islands like, alright, show me the mana leak. But no. Alright, so Escape is bait. They tapped out to drop the click. And then Realmwalker can come out. Unfortunately, there's no sliver on top, technically, so we have to use the ones in our hand. Timely reinforcements, that's fine. I mean, it stalls us a little bit, but it's fine. And then the thing about slivers is, if you leave them unchecked enough, they just snowball. All right, so that was that, and let's go on to round 6. Red green Luca, or is it Lucca? And I've actually since found out that it was actually Naya Luca. I mislabeled it. My bad. But yeah, there was some white in there as well. So basically the way this deck works is they have a bunch of 1 casting cost creatures, and then they have 4 Emeralds, and then they have Lucca, who does that ability to basically turn these 1 casting cost dudes into Emerald. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind if you ever play this deck. It's a bit fringe, but it's a real deck, and it can work. So there's the Luca. And instead of the Emrakul, I guess it was a Platinum Empyrean, my bad. I'm assuming that came out of the sideboard. Normally, like when I've seen this combo before, it had Emrakul. But I'm assuming they got replaced with that because they mistakenly assumed I had no way to deal with artifacts. But we have Harmonic Sliver, and that pretty much sealed the game. I mean, the thing about slivers also is they're really good at taking out planeswalkers. And you get a bunch of creatures that are really big, and suddenly they have no more planeswalkers. So yeah, walking ballista's annoying, but thankfully we had enough of a board where we could just overwhelm that, and yeah, that pretty much does it. You know, Dregscape again. Great against removal, among other things. So that was game 1. Game 2 again. Wait, no. That was game 2, sorry. Was that game 1 or game 2? No, that, oh wait, that was, oh, there was a harmonic sliver. Of course that was game 2. Okay, so round 7. So round 7 against Amulet Titan. And it's one of those matchups that can go either way. This game we're playing mono white slivers. Look at that, mono white slivers. Alright, let's see. Not much to say other than they stalled out and we took advantage with our speed. That's what aggro decks do. They take advantage on decks that don't have ideal hands. And this is Aggro Slivers, so yeah. Amulet. Alright, so it's important to control the amulet, which is a big part of why we got harmonic sliver. That, and there's the other reason we have harmonic sliver. Now at this point, it's tricky to figure out which one you want to destroy first. And then the engineered explosives, and it's like, okay, between the 3, I went for the amulet first. Because, okay, so we saw that they had the Simic Growth Chamber that they bounced. Without the amulet, you know, they bring that back. They still only have 1 mana. Or if they had a better land, it could be 2. But yeah, so we held them off from using the engineered explosives for the turn. And then the next turn, harmonic came in. The second harmonic came in and wiped them clear. So that was a matter of sequencing. If they have multiple artifacts, you know, I just be careful with the sequencing. Harmonic Sliver is awesome when it's awesome. And finally, the top 8. On the draw, and I think I see a mulligan, and then I see this. And then at this point, it's like, alright, I guess it ends here. You know, Prowess is not an easy matchup for us due to all the removal they have. And yeah, it went exactly as you'd expect. But we'll watch the carnage unfold. Why not? Now against Prowess, our game plan is, well, I mean, it's game dependent, but sometimes it involves building a wall with first strikers, but that's risky because, you know, they can buff their guys up. Sometimes it involves trying to race them. Sometimes yeah, I don't know. We don't really have a game plan against Prowess. Who am I kidding? And then games 2 and 3, we bring in Chalice, and when we can get a Chalice, we can kind of hide behind it and do our thing. Although it's not something you mulligan too aggressively for, but Chalice pretty much is our best game plan against Prowess. Mulliganing both games against Prowess is also not very fun. But it happens, you know, it happens. I got lucky with my draws to get here, and then this is where the variance ends. Oh yeah, Untitled Mariner. Untitled Mariner is our other plan. Especially if you can get multiples, you know, sometimes you can just lock them out. or at least slow them down enough where we're, you know, we can take control. Oh, and Frenetic Sliver is also great, partly because of all their removal and partly because you can chump block. Blood Moon though, Blood Moon hurts us pretty badly, and at this point of it's almost hopeless. I'm at this point I'm thinking, okay, I need a Cloud Shredder, and then this happens. Coin flip, lose. Ooh, we got one. All right. So yeah, you know, you can't win them all. We kept the most important one, but you know, too little, too late. Especially with the Blood Moon out, it's not like we're gonna get that many other slivers out. So I'm racing, hoping to top deck something I can cast with the plains and converted mountains. Alternatively, in other games where the deck's slower and when we have more time, we can use an Aether Vial or a Dregscape Sliver. I know it's not gonna happen against Prowess, but like against mid-rangey decks, I've come back by waiting and just and holding a full hand, discarding a Dregscape Sliver, and then bringing back that and the Frenetic, and then going from there. But yeah, anyway, so that's the tournament. That was the run, the rise and the fall, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully this helped in some way, and if you guys are trying to pick up the deck, I wish y'all luck. Peace, y'all. Wear a mask.